I met Dan Pena in February of 1993. It's a long time ago. We've had a lot of fun over those years, worked on a lot of deals. I've learned a lot about what works. I've learned a lot about what doesn't work. And I'm in the process now of going through a 7-week boot camp. And I've really worked hard to put as much of that knowledge into a deep dive on those 7 steps as I can. Candidly, don't know how much longer I'm going to be producing any courses, and don't know how much longer I'm actually going to be doing mentoring. Those are decisions I've got to think about. But I wanted to make this the best course, best boot camp that I've done. We've done 2 weeks at this point, and so far the results have been really good. The feedback, they're long. The first one was an hour and 41 minutes with a live Q&A and a live presentation. Second one was an hour and 44 minutes, if I recall. So it's been good, and we've got 5 more weeks to go on that. But one of the things that certainly came to me and let me understand this is that an awful lot of people have used QLA without any mentoring. And certainly that can be done. Dan and I have both said that there's more people that never met us that have been successful with QLA. But there's a reason that Dan only does business with people that have been to the Castle seminar. I only do business with people I've mentored, and I think that mentors can tremendously shorten your curve. Obviously, we can't mentor everybody, and that's why things like boot camps, I think, are so powerful. But I had a couple of instances yesterday that really pointed out some things to me. 2 people asked about mentoring and asked about the boot camp, and I asked them a simple question: where were they in the process? And both of them said they had put together a dream team and put together accountants and lawyers on a success deferred fee basis. So I asked them if they would pass the lawyer and accountant test, and asked them if they were able to not only defer the fees, but were they able to have a discount on failed transactions. And both of them came back and said no. One of them I haven't heard from, other than to say no, he didn't do that. The second one immediately, I love this, immediately said, no, I failed that test and I've signed up for the boot camp, which is a smart decision on his part. I really think so. The second one that I run into an awful lot is, where are you going to get the funding? And a banker in the UK who I've worked with for a while and is in the process of doing QLA successfully, is a banker as well, as I mentioned. And he had a great answer when asked that by the professionals, the accountants and lawyers. And he said, I'm only going to bring you fully funded deals, which is a lot different than saying, well, I'm going to use seller financing, or I'm going to use debt or equity. All of those can be answers, but it's much more powerful if you can say, I'm going to bring you only fully funded deals. Next question. So if that's a mystery to you, that's something certainly we're going to cover. It's not as hard to give the answer and actually make that statement true as many people think. So I would ask you to look at what you're doing. Go back and look at the 7 steps. A lot of that material is free. If you're comfortable with the couple of things I mentioned and you're already on that path, you probably don't need anything else other than to keep going. But if that's not the case, you might seriously want to think about whether or not the boot camp would help you. And if so, just send me an email. I'm happy to send you the details on that. But you learn a lot of things in 25 plus years working with Dan Pena, and that I truly believe can shorten your curve. Dan and I recently talked about the success people have, and he said that many of the people, if not all the people, that got across the goal line would have gotten across the goal line without us. I know that's not what a marketing guy would normally say, but it's the truth. But we, Dan talking, we just helped them to get across that goal line much more quickly. And I think that's also true. So keep pushing, follow the steps. That's the number one issue that I see, people not following the steps.